welcome to Passion to Win, a special series brought to you by CNBC TV 18 in association with Ernst & Young. I'm Shireen Bhan. Over the course of this series, we're honoring and recognizing the achievements of the winners of the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. On the show today, we honor a man who's built an institution over a 3-decade-long career, a man who's come to be respected and trusted by corporate India and government alike, a man who's walked away with the Ernst & Young Lifetime Achievement Award for 2011, Deepak Parekh. Ms. Parekh, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. I want to take you back to the time that you actually came into HDFC over 3 decades ago. What was the single biggest driver in your mind at that point in time? You couldn't have imagined that India would be a country that would aspire to grow at 10%. You couldn't have imagined that, we'd have this booming middle class at that point in time. What was that single biggest driver? What was your biggest aspiration in 1978?
No, one of the main factors was I wanted to live in India because I'd come back from abroad. And the job I was, they transferred me to Saudi Arabia. So I didn't want to go back again. So that was one. And this was something new which was happening, something untested, untried. So the challenge was to go into something which may fail. It could have failed, but it was a risk. But it was not such a bad risk because if you have the educational qualifications, you have the confidence, you can get another job.
What does failure mean to you?
If it not taken off, suppose this concept of housing finance collapsed, and many people felt that because at that time there were no foreclosure laws, there was no remedy for someone who defaulted. We had to file a civil suit which would take decades. And even eviction of a person from his own house would take another decade or so. So it was an impossible task to collect a small loan by going to courts. So basically you have to trust the human being. You have to trust the man on the street. You have to trust the middle class or the lower middle class. That if he takes a debt on his head, he will pay back.
If I were to ask you to outline for me the 3 or 4 transformational developments or the transformational moments that have taken you and HDFC where they are today, what would those be?
See, the most difficult part was raising money. We had some capital. After the capital, who else will trust you to give you a loan?
I've heard about this story of how you were sitting in the LIC office scribbling names of the people that you would...
The first loan, I can't tell you, I still remember the day when LIC gave us...
Do you still have the visiting cards? I believe you carry it in your wallet with you.
LIC gave the first loan and I still can't forget that evening when we got the LIC money. And it was I think 10 crores or something. It was a huge amount that time. But it was a 10 crore to be drawn over a period of time. But take public deposits. We had public deposits where you could put money in our savings schemes, in our deposits right from day one. But believe me, the first 10-15 years, the deposit schemes failed. No public would trust us with their money, with their savings. They came in hordes to borrow money, but they would not put their savings. So the task we had is how to convince them, how to make them feel safe, that their money is safe.
How did you achieve that?
And that only time could do it.
Yeah.
Only time and performance. There was one day when we had so many applications. We didn't even have all India. We were only 2-3 branches. And we had so many applications pending. We didn't have money to disperse. We even went to our advertising agency. I still remember we made ads that thank you for your overwhelming support.
But don't come to us.
But we have stopped taking fresh applications because we don't want to delay them. And, so we've gone through. It's not been an easy ride.
One of the things that I pick up in the conversation that we've just finished having is the dilemma of managing growth. Because as you were pointing out yourself over here, you had people waiting for you, you didn't have the money. And there's a lot of people who are actually facing that situation of, how do you manage that sudden sort of explosion of growth that comes your way? Was that a critical part of the strategy for you in trying to build a brand?
We were never... advertisement friendly. We never gave massive ads. We never went to TV or radio or anything. I personally feel, and I still believe, and some of the FMCG companies I sit on, they don't believe me, but I have a total disagreement with them. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising.
Absolutely.
One satisfied customer sent us 10 customers. We need not, and they located us and came to our office. for the small loan he wanted. And that is the best way of building a brand.
What are the 5 things? Because you're a man that corporate India respects, you're a man that corporate India looks up to and trusts. If a young entrepreneur was watching you today, what is it that you would tell them?
Whatever you do, keep it simple. Be accessible. Listen to other people. Talk less and listen more. Humility, anger, don't have the temper. Don't think you are above the rest. Simple things. Basically, keep it simple. There's no magic.
Do you believe that, the need to make things look complex is to massage our own egos? People try and make things more complex than they are because it gives them a sense of self-importance.
I think so. To some extent, it's true. No one person can do a thing, any job, or create a brand or create an organization. It is the people you recruit, it's the people you train, it's the people who work with you.
There's no 30-year, 10-year sort of careers anymore with one particular organization. The churn is 2, 3, 5 years. How do you keep? And
you give them how much you trust them. It's not, there is no magic formula. And you will see that in HDFC we have over 25 years. I think more than 50% or 70% of our people will be over 25 years.
You're somebody who has lived your life by numbers, by data, and yet at the same time I believe you don't walk under a ladder, you stop every time a cat crosses the road. Is this all myth or is this true?
Who has told you all this?
True or false?
True. It's just some whims and fancies you have.
So is it just the cat and the ladder? Or is there more as well?
Cat has to be black cat.
Only black cat. So if it's a black cat, you will not cross.
Yeah, black cat, you have to go walk back 9 steps or so.
And you won't walk under a ladder.
Yeah, because something may fall on your head. It's a safety precaution.
So what else?
There's no superstition.
There's no superstition.
Well, it's safety.
So what makes you tick? What gives you the drive to wake up in the morning and say that, okay, this is what I want to go out and do, this is what I want to achieve? What is that one thing that you still feel that you haven't achieved and you want to achieve?
See, I don't have any executive position in the last 2 years.
No, but for yourself, on a personal front.
No, on a personal front, I'm quite happy to...
cricket, movies and bridge?
No, cricket, yes. Movies, not that much, but bridge, cricket, travel, holidays.
So you're enjoying life?
I'm enjoying life, and most of my day goes in meeting people. That's all I do. We have good team across our companies, and there are no companies in crisis, in difficulty.
The country is though.
Yeah, country is, but our companies are not, fortunately, thank God. So it doesn't involve that much time other than presiding on board meetings and looking at some strategy and all.
I want to talk to you about your own personal heroes, and I understand that someone that you regard as a sort of entrepreneurial icon is Keshav Mahindra.
The 2 people who have really shaped this thing was my uncle H.T. Parekh, who made me join HDFC, and since the first day Mr. Mahindra was the vice chairman of the company. So for 34 years, he has been on HDFC board. And he is really a person whom I look up to. And whatever, I have learned a lot from him, the way he runs his business, how to react to situations and how to manage organizations and all. I've learned from both these people.
Have there been any mistakes that you regret? Any decisions that you regret having taken, or any lost opportunities that you believe that, hey, I wish I had gone after that?
Obviously, there are many mistakes in hindsight, you can, like for instance, when we started the bank, RBI gave us 40% equity, but we got a foreign party in and gave them 15. Today, if we had 40, we would be in a much better position in the sense the way the bank has done so well.
Yeah.
So, we gave it away at 10 rupees a share. When we started the bank, our capital in HDFC was 100 crores. We started the bank with 200 crores capital. There was no way we could put 100 crores in the bank when our capital was 100. That's why we only put 50 crores. And we said we can't afford to. We're putting half of our capital. You see? And that is the risk. So main reason of giving it to a foreign bank was the risk mitigation, nothing else. But on hindsight, of course, you regret it.
What would be the biggest takeaway from the Deepak Parekh story, you think?
Be a simple person, approachable person, honest person, integrity, honesty, and treat people the same way. Whether the person is a small man on the street or he's the chairman of a company.
It's important for you to be accessible, it's important for you to be respected, it's important for you to be trusted, and then the money, the fame and the power comes later.
It comes automatically, it comes.
So respectability has to come first.
No, trust, more than trust.
And respectability will follow.
And be honest in your transactions, in your dealings. You know, it is ethical behavior is something which is absolutely necessary, because, you know, no one is stupid. If you are unethical, even the smallest person in the organization will know. It is very easy to find out who's straight, who's not straight.
So Deepak Parekh, the simple man, would that title work for you if you were to do a biography, or not, somebody were to do a biography?
I don't want to do anything.
You don't want to do anything?
I want India to do better.
You want India to do better. We certainly hope that India does better. Mr. Parekh, always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.